Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Knoxville Business Growth Collaborative. And today I am joined by Rachel. Here she is behind me. Rachel, again, she was such a great speaker before. We brought her right back. We're going to be talking about AI and specifically job safe AI. So a lot of people are afraid that AI is going to take their job. Some people even, is it going to eat my brain? What is happening with this, right? It's growing in leaps and bounds. It's hard to keep track of, and it's hard to know where you fit in the whole thing. And the thing we're going to cover today mostly is how you can harness the power of AI and stay ahead of your competition and come out the winner in the end. So here we go. All right, so Rachel, why don't you start and just really kind of start to educate us. Now, you're a marketing exec. Yes, and so how has AI has it turned your world upside down, or how has it affected you?
Definitely. So for me, I think that AI has been an awesome tool to save time and money, especially when I'm doing research. So a lot of my work is based on market research and understanding what customers are doing and behavioral activities, things like that. And so I'm now able to go into like ChatGPT and say like, hey, I am doing market research for this. Can you give me some examples of where they might be located? Which platforms are they using? So do I need to be on TikTok? Do I need to be on Instagram? Another key thing that I use it for is I do a lot of website design. And so with that, I do keywords. So I recently did this for my personal website where I put my URL in and I said, give me keywords for every single page that you can find that Google has access to. And so what happened was it gave me a list of keywords that I could implement into my copywriting. And so this is one of the ways that you can really boost your SEO, which is search engine optimization, and really have a stronger foundation for getting ranked on Google. So there's tons of ways that you can use it. I also know that a ton of my clients use it for social media posts themselves. So maybe copywriting isn't their strong suit, so they'll use it just to make sure they get all the points out, make sure that their voice is heard, how they want to do it. And I know that there's a lot of varying, like, should you use it, should you not? And I just want to say that, for one, don't listen to the haters. But two, this is your business. And whatever you need to do to find success and to be successful, that is what you need to be doing. So for me, I don't have a lot of time to do a bunch of keyword research for my own website. So I'm just handing it over to something that could do it in nanoseconds. And literally it was what I had projected, and what came back was what I was expecting. So I do think that there are so many opportunities that we can use any type of AI, and it's not something that you need to be necessarily afraid of. I know, Rita, we were going to talk about this a lot, but for me, as someone who does writing a lot, and even for authors, it was one of those things where I was like, am I cheating myself? Am I cheating my readers? Am I cheating, like, because I'm asking AI to write an outline for this blog or this book or, whatever. And I specifically remember I was in this seminar, and one of the authors specifically said, she was like, I had to come to terms and realize that this does not make me any less of an author or any less of a writer, because I'm using tools that every other writer is most likely using or is incorporating somehow in their strategy. So I want everyone to definitely leave today knowing that use the tools and don't feel like you're cheating yourself, and don't feel like you're not good enough, or don't let the imposter syndrome come in and say something, because you're a business owner. We have to realize that in some cases time is money. And so when we can utilize tools that really give us back that freedom of our time Lauren, it lets you go, I don't know if you do like shows or like comic book shows or whatever, but like, you get to spend more time with your family doing what you love because you don't have to spend all day, doing sales pages. You don't have to spend days doing email campaigns or all these things because it'll do it in nanoseconds.
Yeah. So what she's referring to is with me. I just told her that I had found a new to me AI site this weekend, and part of my job, part of what I do for my clients is I build landing pages for you, right? And a landing page is certainly where someone lands when they take your free offer or they follow your link to say, I'm interested in something that you have. And it can take, I wouldn't say 15 minutes, but a short 30, 45 minutes to make a landing page, up to 2 or more hours to make a landing page. And there's a lot of this color here and change that, and what font should I use, and how big should the font be, and how does that lay out, and how does it look on a computer versus mobile. And it's just, it's something I really enjoy, and it's something business owners a lot of times do not enjoy. And so I found this site, a friend told me about it, and I made 4 landing pages in one day with no tears, no hair pulling, no anxiety whatsoever. And there are, go wedges. 3 of them are a theme, so I would use the same theme to make 3 of them. I was absolutely blown away by it. And then I told the same, we're going to talk about all the different platforms and different companies, but I told it to make me a presentation like PowerPoint slides about that same thing. And nanoseconds, something that, and that's where it's hard for me is the copyright. I'm thinking of something to say in the first place, but saying it in a way that someone can be moved to action. Those things are hard for me. And so, and that's the thing I love about that. And how I did those landing pages is put them all out, and it put them in different sections, and it said, put your testimonials here. Here's your buy button, that kind of thing. And then I could tweak it, right? I had to do all that on premise. So I'm lining up here some of the things that Rachel was saying that you can use ChatGPT for, and this is a very small amount, very small. We're going to add that later. And so what you're getting is the benefits is time savings, and you can generate ideas. This is the smartest use. The smartest use of AI is to generate an idea, get your juices flowing, give you a thought process so that then you can write on your own. Because you definitely, this is one of the warning, do not take something that AI makes you written and then just use it. You definitely don't want to do that. 2 reasons. It's not in your voice. It's not something you would naturally say necessarily. And also, there are a whole industry now out there of platforms that can now detect that this came from AI. And you don't want to say that. But you can use it to generate your own thought process and get you going in a direction, and then you, I'll take that phrase and I'm going to build this sentence. That's going to remind me of the next sentence and the next sentence, and then look back. Oh yeah, I wanted to say something about that, and you can be right on your own, but it gives you ideas. So I love that. And so let's meet our other panelists.
So there's one here.
Yes. Do you want to just introduce yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm Laura Hunter. I'm a content strategy and marketing. I do SEO and customer services for. My favorite is whenever a lot of times people will come in and I don't have a dictionary questions, and so that converted from what they assume is a not actually being online, and you actually exist a lot more online, even if it's through metadata and whatever. I could just start. Do y'all use like AI research?
I use ChatGPT, that's like as far as I prefer SEO. So I was really excited about this, I was like, add stuff to that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So, my whole thing, oh, is it, okay. Yeah, so my whole take on this, so the whole concept was to like use AI to like reduce your workload, right? So, because I do research services, so I basically like help you connect with Google, right? So I have some tips to reduce your workload, basically in regards to like production and marketing costs and all that kind of services, so that Google's actually like reading your content. And it's a pretty easy way to just structure it, so you don't have to do that. And then it's a little bit I was going to teach you guys a little bit like how AI works. Specifically talking about generative AI, which is the Google's SGE search generative experience, right, in Google. Oh, okay. No, that's cool. So it's basically like Google's got, have y'all used like the features in Google where it's like, it combines the search experiences and puts it at the top, right? Okay, so that's called SGE. So those are really, there are 3 simple ways to just target that so that you're not having to like work overtime just to like be visible at the top. So that's my thing. And yeah, if you have any questions, I don't know, I use a lot of words sometimes and don't realize that it's not have a lot of video. So. Okay, cool. Yeah, I use Canva. It's delightful. Right? Yeah. We don't have a. Okay. Okay, cool. Okay, so. Okay, those work. Okay, awesome. Okay, so again, my company's content strategy and marketing, provide SEO messaging services, out-of-the-box services, right? For innovative companies, that's my, where to find me. So, yeah. Okay, so introductions to me. So I'm based out of Knoxville, Tennessee. I have over 10 years of experience in content strategy and marketing, over 8 in SEO specifically, like related to technology data and good data into that. And it's all based on performance. So not necessarily the content writing piece that a lot of people will, have experience in. I started out with digital marketing in San Francisco, specifically in social media simplification ads, which is by writing for Washington Post. And then around 6 years before that, I taught podcasting and advertising to kids in Annabelle City. We were like a radio station, so that was kind of fun. And then I've broken websites by reloading servers. That was a rookie error. I'll teach you how not to do that. And then also, I was on my WordPress channel. And then I just wrote like a lot of data. It's a lot because your data is your story, and it will tell you where you came from and then how to get, to where you're going. So it's super important. Okay, so the agenda for this, I just wanted to like quickly help you guys understand what generative AI is, how it's created, and then basically to use that knowledge to know how to apply it to your company's own like unique digital footprint. The objectives, I've got 2 versions. TLDR, work smarter, not harder. So we're gonna do that, and then long version is gain insight into various ways to reduce your creative capacity, production, workload. So you're not having to put out so much, right? While also maximizing your content efficiency, translation, like do it like right? So everything centers around this concept because you can't really know where you're going if you don't know where you've been, right? So your SEO, whatever marketing strategy you have needs to funnel off of that. Especially with generative AI. So, do you know what it is? Generative AI. Okay, so that is. So a little bit about it. So it's been around for a while, at least since 2017. Google was experimenting with it, came out with this really cool model that I'm going to talk to you guys about. It's conceptually related to large language models, which is, we'll go over that too. And also it's everywhere, read, it's currently trending. How's it created? So in 2017, I thought this was kind of interesting. Google partners with the University of Toronto. They produced this model called the transformative data model, which is basically like data architecture, right? It's published here. The transformer model is what Google Bard is based off of. Google Bard is now known as Google Gemini, which is another tool that you can use for AI stuff. Also, I did some of my personal recommendations and then we got search and how Google works and all of the, stuff in the back end. If you are a Google user, for your business, right, and you have all of that data already present in Google, you use the Google product, it's probably also worth considering using the Google AI, tool, right? So like Gemini, whatever. Okay, so here's a visual of how it works. So essentially there's an input and then you get all these little pieces and then it goes here and then it goes over there. So yeah. Right, push that out. So yeah, read it a little bit. Let's see if I can do that. So yeah. Just figure it out. There you go. Okay, so basically, yeah, so this is all, I took this straight from, Google has this really cool report. I'm really into this stuff, so architecture is big for me. It's also, I consider your content, your web pages, your website, your entire marketing strategy as they're all individual, they're all parts of the architecture. And so basically, you lay a good foundation and it's all going to build on top of each other. So that's like it's the entire concept of like SEO. But these are web terms. Basically, they just mean there's like some sort of data input happening, and then like a grouping collection, with sorting, and then it happens. It kind of goes into that. So yeah. Okay, let's go back to normal. So then we go over to. I'm sorry. Okay, here we go. So we back to that quote, which is you got to know, what's already there to know how to move forward, right? So we thought your search experience. All of that is to say, your search experience is not random; it's very intentional. So your content being rendered in Google, like showing up in search results, and what is actually being shown in search results is very intentional, and it's also very formulaic. So my job is to teach you, right, like how to target that, so you don't have to work so hard. Okay, so basically the backbone of the whole entire AI search experience, I call it SGE, but it's really that thing at the top when you type in, like Google, right? It's the stuff that kind of filters at the top, the first things that you see. So it's basically created by things like relationships between search queries and keywords, and then keywords and your content, and then your content, and then search queries. And they're not necessarily in a priority, not necessarily prioritized here, they're just to show like relationships between everything. So it's important to have them all. And so then how the model before now translates into what Google shows you in search results, right? Is like, for example, let's say, like an input, right, is either your content or keywords or search queries, right? We start at the bottom, positional encoding is super important, and then it kind of filters it through all of the algorithm, right? And then it generates search results. So I'm going to give you an example of this. Okay, so let's say you're like a foot specialist, right? And so your content says in one of your articles, right? If your dogs are barking, it's important to stretch out your tendons, right? Also filtering into that input is the keyword animals that bark, right? Add in the positioning, both of these are both directly related to like barking is an inconvenience, right? But they're both talking about two totally separate things. Yeah, however, with the SGE, right, like search interview experience, the stuff that you're reading, getting whenever you get injured, is things like ways to prevent dogs from barking, right? Which is like kind of like if you're a foot specialist, like not, I get it, but not quite, not quite there, right? So, what you say and how you say it, it's all important. Okay, so challenges. As you can see, there's challenges to SGE, right? So like even just getting in those results at the top of the page, it's formulaic and it's modeled on entity correlations, right? Which are those little boxes and all of the possibilities that could exist in the boxes, right? And so the search results are based, like what's being shown and how it gets there is all based on previous data. It's not based on new stuff, right? So like, in a way, if you're able to attack and to target like stuff that's content that's performed better, previously, then it should help get ideas that it should help you build on, the later stuff. So what to do? First of all, know the formula. Secondly, target your existing data. Action items. This is just a roundabout, right? So in regards to the formula, so these are for me kind of more the key takeaways, and I'm sorry to be super quick in this. But it's like you want to make sure that your content is displayed in a variety of formats. Some of those are.
I just take those.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, it's okay. Cool. So some of the formats that you want to use, right, are XML. There are various ways to do this, but you've got your regular XML, which is rendered off of a lot of different things. You've got like HTML. You've got images. If you have images on your website, right? And then you also have videos. If you have any sort of like PR piece that you have on your website, another type of formatting that you want to include is news. And these are all XML format. And I know I'm probably may not know how to do that yet. So, okay, so there's one, there's some other, let's see, I'm trying to also think, some other things you can look at is something called structured data. Okay, and included in structured data is, let me see, I'm trying to think. So like schema is one. And one way to identify if you have schema is if you use a Google, Google has a lot of free tools. So you can go to rich results test. Like just type that in. Or it might be.
Would you type that in with your website name or?
You just type in Google rich results test, and then it's going to pull up. I could actually pull that up really quickly. Is that okay?
Yeah. Yep, we're doing great. Okay, any questions for her?
I just have a quick question of what would be an example for news under XML?
Okay. So it would be, it's a site map.
Okay.
Yeah, so, and I can show you how to get that too. I'm assuming you have like, what, PR, you stuff on your website?
Well, I own a website, I'm a developer for website,
Oh.
so I just didn't know if you have like newsfeed or news page or
No.
something or like, you know.
Yeah, so it's actually, it's a site map for news. So like anything that you've got, yeah, I don't want to go that deep yet, because there's like so many different layers, to it, but, yeah, you can render out the news specific site map. I'm trying to think of, maybe like, you can connect them all, there's some tools out there that are super easy, but you can just like plug and play, stick the website in there and remove it. So, let me see, I can't see anything. So, you got, so, yeah, there you go. Okay, so you go here, so go to, it's search.google.com /test /results. And then you can stick your webpage in there. The cool thing is one thing that's gonna happen, you're gonna be doing two things that will benefit your website. The first thing is that you're getting Google to acknowledge your website and crawl it, which is always a good thing. And then, the second thing is, you're gonna figure out if you've got good results. So, what's your, turn it into your website?
Mine says my URL is not available.
Oh, okay.
But it is, because I can go back to it. So I don't know what's going
Okay,
on.
so, okay, well, we can just, what is it?
It's CKRLISELLSTN.com.
Like that?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, there you go. What this means is that, okay, so in the world of SEO, right, so this is like part of what I was saying about, as far as Google actually reading your stuff in a format the way that it wants to read it, right? It's not doing that. So your stuff might be showing up because you're connected,
Yeah.
right, in other ways, but you're not actually connected to like search engines, which is a different, it's different, right?
Mhm.
So what you have to actually do is, and I say this broadly, because it like, I can give you all the ways in which it is and isn't.
Mm-hmm.
I would enjoy it, and you probably would not enjoy it.
I created our company.
Yeah.
You know, by supposedly who does the web developing. And that's
I think that's not an issue though.
Yeah.
I have a Google business.
I'm good.
Yeah, so,
I just made Google problems, like, now I'm really curious, but it was just like.
okay, so this is just for, search results though, right? So like, whenever you, okay, this is fun. So, there are different formats that are presented to search engines, right? Your domain can be connected, right? It can be browser, I can't even think of the word, but it's like, compatible, right? And it can be like, whatever the word is, responsive and all that stuff, which is really a cool thing. But if it's not connected, and I'm gonna use the word connected, right? So like, even though it can show up in search results, like whenever you directly type it in, that can happen without it actually being like connected to the browser, to the search engine, which means Google, and whenever I define this, because there's always like exceptions and whatever, but whenever I say connected, what I mean is Google actually coming in and crawling your site, right? And reading it and indexing it and seeing like what's there and placing it in priority and showing how everything connects together. Okay.
I think I see what you're saying, it's like if I type in my URL, I can go right to it, but if I do a search on my name,
Yeah.
I pull 18 bazillion things, but not my own website.
Yeah, so that's fine.
She's
So,
not discoverable.
I mean, I see all over the place, but not
Yeah.
my specific.
it's basically like the terms are like to be techie or whatever, right? I'm just gonna give you two so that we're not, because you're really getting into the weeds, but it's like your stuff is not being indexed and it's not being crawled. And those two things are super important for keyword ranking, page ranking, to get traffic, to have queries. What I was saying, like with the relationships, have your queries and your keywords are they have a relationship, right? And so like in a good relationship, you want to keep it going. So like there, things that you have to do. I don't know what happened.
Your computer.
Is that it?
AI took over.
I know, right? Yay, okay. Yeah, fun fact, I can do this for days, but the programming clocks on this. So, okay, so here, you want to do,
So mine made me, there was a thing that said request for it, and then I was just able to request and put it in Adventures with GoDaddy, and now it's actually looking through my page.
in GoDaddy?
So because my domain's from GoDaddy, they have to get permission
Oh,
from GoDaddy to do it.
Interesting, okay.
So now it says processing data, please check again in a day or so. So I had to request,
yeah, so normally you shouldn't have to do that.
mine did what that was not available on Google, so then I said, well, learn more. So
Yeah.
learn more, and then it says request.
Okay, so what normally should happen is you should be able to go to your Google Search Console. Right? This thing, and then you should be able to just click on this, and you should be able to click on that. I'm not gonna do it, because it's gonna bring up my stuff. But you should be able to click on this, and then it should link directly to your website. And if it's not, then what that means is that needs to be set up.
So,
I know my name because I use Google Work twice on that. I did all that at the very beginning, I built my website, and it's still pulling it.
So
Mine takes me to that page, it's just I had to request.
So for that, depending on which platform you are using to host your website, is where you need to go in and
No, I get it. So this is.
so for example, I just connected mine because I thought the same thing. And I used Wix, and then I realized that I needed to go in and actually do the Google Search Console and add it from my hosting platform.
That's what it just made me do.
Yes,
Yes, and now it's saying
it's doing it, yeah.
But.
Yeah, so if you,
I wouldn't even know to never do.
yeah, so you need to do it from your website hosting platform, and then connect it to your Google Search Console.
Yeah.
So you might have the same thing going on.
So, you should not, okay, so if it's set up correctly, you should not have to go to your hosting platform to put it in there.
That's just how I did it, like,
Yeah,
yeah.
So I went to where you originally sent us, and then it said learn more, so it was telling me it's unable. And it said, I want to have it so that I show Google.
Yeah.
And it made me sign into GoDaddy from them, hit connect, and now it's has me on that page, that console. And so it made me go from Google to my hosting site. So I don't know if it changed or what.
okay.
fantastic. All right. So now, Lauren,
Yes.
so we started talking like real high level about what AI does and doesn't do and how you can save time. And this is kind of the flip side of the same coin with what you're talking about, right? Because if I understand, I was listening.
No, yeah, sorry, it's like kind of all
The generative AI, the reason it's important to us is because I want my website to be found in searches, and that generative AI is how, if I pay attention to that, that's how that will happen.
So, kind of, yeah, like the whole concept was to basically structure your website and your content on your website in such a way that it's being picked up in generative AI, so that is actually going to be working for you in your marketing. So you're not having to, the problem is whenever you're not being indexed and crawled, you're not having your data available in like, you know, various formats and whatever, that's not included on your website, then you're not allowing your data and your content to actually work in the way that it should be working for you. And so essentially you're having to work overtime. And so even whenever you create more content, it's still not really picked up. So,
Question?
Yeah, I have a quick question about duplicate images, because I actually have several on my page,
yes.
like all, like, what's your chicken wings? It's your chicken wings for business, but I also use it like in their blog, and I use it in their business directory, and then I use it like, you know, somewhere else, maybe like in Europe, and then, so is that really hurting me?
I mean, if it's your logo, so your logo is gonna be different, right? But, if I have, I don't know, for example, like the picture I showed of myself, right? So, if I have, I mean, like conceptually it's hurting because it doesn't actually show like complexity, right, of all that your brand is. So like, first of all, like visually, you're limiting yourself, just online in general, in marketing, whatever. But also, from like a data architecture standpoint, right? So, there's metadata that's attributed to your images, right? You have URL that's attributed to your images, like all this stuff behind, that's working like behind the scenes on your website. You've got your file, your captions, or whatever else. So like having that stuff duplicated over and over and over again, right? So Google's seeing the relevancy of your content, and what it's actually saying is that it's limiting.
So if she had 4 different pictures of chicken wings on those different places, even because the restaurant sells chicken wings, right? So just not the same exact picture.
I would do better.
Yeah, my concern is like, I have a very, very, very large website with thousands of photos, even though they're optimized for this deal.
Yes.
You know, I can't, like, you know, I'm gonna create a photo image person with 4 copies of it, you know, with WordPress, creating thumbnails, and, you know,
Okay, yeah.
needing to get large. And so my thing is, I just can't add thousands and thousands more images just to have a different picture of chicken wings for that same restaurant to use it like 7 different places.
Yes, but having it being rendered, what I would suggest, like a way around that, right, is honestly, instead of, in some ways there is going to be like a manual sort of component to this, right, because kind of like for the overall good. So like your thumbnail image, if you have the capacity to upload a thumbnail image and tag it as the thumbnail image, and not only that thumbnail image. Like I understand that like for responsiveness, right, it's gonna display in different formats and whatever, but like, if you have the capacity to, for example, upload a header image that's separate from a feature image, right? Just display in general, those are gonna be 2 different sizes normally. So even if they're the same thing, right, you would still have like, I don't know, a medium file, 700 by 900, right, for your feature, and then, I don't know, 1284 or whatever it is, right, for the header image. So there still might be the same, but
Speaking of images,
yes.
there are some AI sites that will make images for you based on a prompt that you put in. And I have played with a couple. So we're going to start putting up some names of some AI sites that you can use. And, Lauren, you want to? Yeah, because we're going to have more questions, I bet. So, Let's now, does everybody guys want a picture of this or anything, because we're gonna break some of it? And this big question that's in the back of our minds all the time, am I cheating? You are not cheating with this any more than you would be cheating if you watched the TV commercial and said, oh, that's a good idea, I could advertise that way. And then you went and did something of your own that was emulating that other TV commercial. So you are definitely not cheating, you're just using tools that are available to you. And so I'm going to make some room up here. I'm going to leave Lauren's stuff up here. So these are some of the things that you could use AI for. And actually, I'm just gonna, these are some of those benefits: saving time, saving money. And here's the thing: when you are, so you use ChatGPT. Anybody else use? Did you have a use of AI? You have. Okay. So the whole thing works on a prompt. So you tell the AI, let's say ChatGPT, we'll just stick with that one. There are many more now that do the same thing. That one works mostly in text. So you give it text and say, I want a press release. This worked for me, for this group, when I first formed this group. I didn't know the proper way to write a press release, like which section comes first and second and third. I knew there was a pattern, but I didn't know what it was. So I went to ChatGPT to find out what the pattern is, and I said, okay, I need to write a press release about this group and how it meets and what they do, what the group does and what I teach. And it spit out a press release that was amazing. I mean, I looked for places where I could change things, and there really was just fantastic. So the prompt is the words that I put in there to say, this is who I am, this is what I need, this is the information about it. So the better prompt that you can give to an AI site, the better result you're going to get out. And so ChatGPT is the one we have all been hearing about. And also two warnings. So we gave one warning already. What was that? Don't take it as is. Yep, that's one warning. Second warning is anything you put into ChatGPT at the simplest level, it's going to remember and it's going to use that information again when someone else asks a question. So, yes.
Which is the existing data.
Yes. So if you have highly proprietary, I don't know anyone doing scientific method of that, something that you want to protect, don't.
Yeah, I never put my direct formula in.
See? Exactly. No, so you don't now, the newest ones at the higher level that you pay for, you can tell it, do not learn this information, but I wouldn't trust that yet. I just wouldn't put anything in there that isn't something that anyone else could find. So ChatGPT is one.
And that's the same thing for your photos.
Right.
But if you use Adobe and you use their generative billing to remove something, they don't own your photo. They use it, even if you didn't you said just remove this fire hydrant. So
Interesting.
just know it's like it's a great tool at the same time. You're like, oh, okay. Because they're then using your images, that's how they're creating.
And that's Adobe?
Yeah, they just started that, and we do that.
So, but that's how that's how the software learns, is taking everyone's photos and photos that exist, create these images. And sometimes it's really good, but sometimes we feature, because a lot of people like, oh, I got my headshot done, and it's all AI fake. It looks fake. Like anyone who's actually like, no one looks like that, and they know, like we look too perfect.
They look like 90s glamour shots.
And you don't have any.
No, I see people like, oh, I don't think I paid. I just paid like $50. Look what it did. I'm like, it's not you. It's like a weird version of you. So it's like there's.
I noticed that people don't have any pores.
Yeah, so it's like that borderline of like, I love AI. I use it for stuff and for it to help speed up, but it's like a complete like. Like some people just do it where that they're thinking they don't even do any of it. It's still not to that level of where you can just only use
And now you can have a site or a blog or an area of your business where you do use AI generated images. This is one of them. Dolly is another one. And what I would suggest is if you're using AI images, let them look like AI images. Who knows BizGrow, you can say BizGrow, they're advertising networking events here in Knoxville. And they're clearly using AI images, which is fine. There's a theme, the colors, patterns follow through, they all look like they belong together, that's fine. It's just don't try to pass off an AI image as a real.
Just know that I did my networking and it's just creating like this, not as something that I thought as a image. So anyone else is searching this thing, so they already know that it's fake.
Exactly.
So, which is fine, but don't just say, oh, I took this photo.
Right.
Passing on this work pieces.
All right. Oh, so we had warnings. So here's our warnings. Don't take it well, change the content, let me say. Change the content to make it your own. And with photographs, watch carefully the feet and hands. For some reason, it just can't get fingers. And a friend of mine made a picture, and it was a woman, and she's running away from the camera, I guess, you know, the perspective. And so she's running into a sunset, and it was really cool. Her ponytail was swinging, but this foot was facing the wrong direction.
Yeah.
And you'll have too many fingers on the hand, or the fingers are extra super long. So just watch. If you're gonna use AI for pictures and images, and it's wonderful. It can do things that you're not going to just go out and find a picture or create your own picture of it. So watch out for fingers and feet and words. It's very bad. Depending, I haven't found any that are good with words. It'll look like words everywhere. Like I did this one where I wanted someone sitting at a table writing. And this is what you give it. You say, I want a picture of a woman in her 20s with long blonde hair sitting at a table writing with a pencil on paper, and all around her are thought bubbles with creative ideas in them, right? And the overall theme is beige and tan. There's a sunlight coming in. Like you can say all that stuff and it'll make a picture like that. However, all the words and all the bubbles were just gibberish. You couldn't read any of it. They looked like letters. They looked like English letters, but they weren't real words.
So I was just can you okay, so you create a picture with ChatGPT, you have your picture. Can you get like super complex with it and be like, oh, it's cross stitch pattern?
Yes. Oh, and there'll be a third hand. Like if I ask for two people looking at something, holding something, they'll be like suddenly just an extra hand. But yeah, you can tell it to create a cross stitch pattern, and I go a little bit to like the 80 count or whatever. And I want it to be a teddy bear with clouds around it. Like, yeah.
Would you have to try it at this point, you think? Because I was thinking I'm missing fingers. I was like,
I haven't tried a cross stitch pattern, but
I would say a great example of what not to do with AI is the British royal family and Kate Middleton.
Yeah.
Where they clearly did like some weird AI thing, and like I can't remember if it was the kid's hand or her hand. It was like
edited a picture. Yeah.
It was like the kid's hand was doing something weird, and it was just clearly not a good.
Yeah, she edited that picture herself, and she's not very good at it.
There you go.
Massive limit that happens.
You're talking about the fact that AI doesn't know how to generate hands. There's a very specific reason for that. It's because AI has to pull from still pictures or videos. And because oftentimes the hands doesn't make sense, it's a very complex thing. Even artists ourselves, we have a hard time drawing them. AI can't interpret it. It's just not that advanced yet. They're saying that it's going to get to the point where it will be able to. Who knows? But even then, she couldn't draw it.
So.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I actually have pieces of art that they look like they've never seen.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, exactly. So and you might decide, yeah, those fingers are kind of long, but it's not the focus of the, like I made this one, and I said a woman riding a bicycle near a long string of trees by the lakefront, and the sun is setting, and the whole thing has got warm orangey red tones. And it was perfect, and she had her hands on the motorcycle, or handles on the bicycle. She was looking at the camera, it was perfect, but her fingers were just abnormally long. And I felt like, I'm gonna use this image because they were at the bottom of the picture, they weren't the focus of the picture at all, and she had the right number of fingers. So, yeah.
That was the goal.
So,
Just know some of the sites like the social media, there's starting to tag if your photo has anything with AI in it, including even if you're on Adobe and you can use generative filters to even remove something, they'll still tag it as an AI image.
So that's
Just
insane.
know that is out there, which is infuriating, so like, it's not actually like I changed, like some people put in a whole new background, it's like it was more you used it to remove something, you just fill it, and they'll still tag it as AI in the rest of the photo.
so that's really important to photographers and artists.
It's also important to SEO, because it's the same thing. So, 2024, Google put out a, focus on, that was like another part that I forgot about. They put out a focus on, accessibility and transparency. So like data transparency, content transparency, all that stuff. So, it's all being, there's data there. So if it's an AI generated image, it's already being connected with that. And so as like, SEO specialist, search specialist, whatever, like expert, what I would kind of caution with in terms of that is, maybe, I don't know, maybe it's worth it for you to get like a slight hit in performance generating an AI image versus as opposed to, because you really want to put your efforts into this other thing, because that's going to make more of an impact for you. So I feel like it's a balance. Like there's not necessarily, I mean, nobody has the team of like thousands of people to actually do everything for us.
Yeah.
So you kind of just have to look and see what is worthwhile. As far as like search is concerned too, another thing that's important is, while we're on the image and all that stuff, having like the various things within like types of content, right? Like video, image, carousel, all the other whatever else, right? Like having a variety of that stuff within your content is also a good thing.
Yeah. So I'm putting some websites up here that I have used myself or I have seen being used. So both of these are good. They both take words from you in the prompt and give me words back. Claude.io, you have to pay for. And ChatGPT has a free version and a paid version, and you really, it's $20 a month. It's totally, completely worth the paid version. It gives you better, high quality answers. And ChatGPT, there's 3.5, which is free. There's 4, and now there's 4. Oh, with a little O, it's weird. But this one has access to the whole internet. This one only had access to the internet up to 2021. That could be changed now. But either one of these is really what you want. If you're going to be using AI to create things that you would want to say or you use in a blog or something like that. As Claude.io, I have the least experience with. It takes the written prompt from you and it gives you words. I have a feeling that it does more and more powerful things, and that might be why I don't even know if they have a free version. Any other ones?
Cats.
Task Magic, now is that video or what?
Video.
That is video, so here, that's why I need to erase this part right here now. Because, now, I have a video, let's say today's video. What if I put this video, we're live now, we're on live stream, it's gonna be a recording. If I took that video and put it in Task Magic, is that a .com or a
I think it's
Okay.
but you can, it's on Google.
Taskmagic.io, we're gonna say. And what does it do? I put in a video.
Yep, so it's amazing. You put in any type of video or audio recording. So a lot of podcasters will use it. I'm not a podcaster, I just use it for my videos. And it will take the video and you can put any prompt you want in it. So for example, I did this like 5-minute video of myself and I wanted a blog to go with it, and it took my words and it made it a blog. Yeah, and it's amazing. So and you can think of anything. I have one client who will do all of her Instagram titles for reels. It'll do highlights of the content for her audiograms. Really anything you can think of, it can pop something out, like YouTube descriptions, shorts, titles, SEO stuff.
Instagram titles.
Yeah, like you know how you put title in your reels? Yeah, so it came up with those, and then
it breaks it up into reels, right?
yes. And it also it's funny because it's specific to LinkedIn as well. It has like its own LinkedIn specific area. I don't really use LinkedIn, so not high on my list, but I know a lot of people are interested in that. So another really awesome thing is that it'll give you say the prompt, and then if you have an example of what you're looking for, you can literally copy and paste it from any creator anywhere, and it'll do like a similar layout. So for example, if I wanted 6 points on like AI, I could take maybe one of Lauren's posts, put it in there, and it wouldn't copy what she said. It would copy like the format and how she laid out her post using my words from the video. So I personally really like that. It's saving me so much time. And on top of that, you get a lot of that extra content. So if you are struggling with figuring out what content to put out there, this might be a really interesting and useful way to do that. You do have to pay for the subscription. It is a monthly subscription. But for me, it's worth it. So no ads here, nothing like that. Just trying to help out. And also, oh, sorry, go on. I was going to say, if you have Canva, they just did a massive launch. And Canva actually has picture editing software now. So I took some cute photos of me at the beach, and I wanted them to look more professional. And so it now can upscale regular images. So I do that. They also have the ability to take out background stuff. You can change the background with Canva. You can do a lot of these really awesome things. And it also does AI generative. It's not any good. It is, do not do Canva for any AI generative like images or anything. Just stick to their stock photos, which are just yeah. Their new update. But there's still a few bugs in it, so give it a while. But yeah, so if for me, I know there's a lot of photographers in here, don't come for me, but I am not at a place financially where I can afford a personal photo shoot right now. And so I just take my iPhone, have my husband take pictures of me, and then I just use Canva to upscale it. And I mean, it looks really nice. So any budget's welcome here.
That's right. Absolutely. I thought of 2 more warnings, and these are kind of split by pictures and text. Right at the 7th grade level, tell it
to write at a seventh grader, you could use fifth grader, but I tend to speak and write at a college level, and that's fine. And I'm here with you, you can see the nuances there, right? But in posting and writing blogs and those kind of things, you want to be around a seventh grade level. And so you can tell it to write at a seventh grade level. And this is when I was taught this, I thought they were joking. Do not hallucinate. Put that in your prompt, because ChatGPT, the main job of that is to bring back the result that it thinks that you want. Generally, it's using real stuff to do that, but it will make stuff up that they can't find. And we do know that an attorney somewhere on the East Coast was preparing a brief or something, whatever they do.
A briefing.
A brief, and he used this case versus this was the result, case versus so-and-so, that was the result. One of them didn't even exist. And he didn't know it because he didn't check what ChatGPT gave him. But it gave them the result that it thought they wanted. So if you're using it for research, like she's saying, and something concrete and specific, make sure that you check what it's giving you, and that you can vouch for whether you're using it. So, and if you say do not hallucinate, then it won't do something like that. You will only return the way it is. Here's another great thing you can do with ChatGPT. You can say, like for example, when I formed this group, I said, this is what I'm planning, this is who I want to come, this is the kind of content material. What else should I be considering? And it'll give you 8 or 10 or 12 things that you can say that you should consider about running a group like this. I mean, there's just so many ways that you can use, and there's no cheating there. And you just think it's like your own team of employees. I was taught, use it like that's your marketing team. Okay, we're gonna write, a blog, and we're gonna build a landing page, and we're gonna, what else? 20 social media posts and a 15 email series. You would do them all in one post or a meeting prompt. But it's like, we're gonna build this, and then we're gonna build this. Oh, here, getting into the head of your ideal client. When you want to use ChatGPT or Claude or another one, there are more now. But when you want to really get into the head of your ideal client, you want to ask these kind of questions. So, let's say, what she said, she's a foot specialist in that, right? So a foot specialist might know who their client is, and they are 40-year-old men, let's say. This is their ideal client. When you talk about your ideal client, it doesn't mean you can't work with someone else, but this is who you do your marketing for. This is your ideal client. They need what you have, and they're ready to pay for it, and they have enough pain in that area, and you have the perfect solution for them. So if someone else comes along, certainly you can sell them. I really struggled with this ideal client thing when I first started my business. I felt like I was leaving everybody out because they need it too, right? But this is just so you can speak directly to them. So this is he's a foot specialist, and his ideal client is like 40-year-old men with sports injuries, who are factory workers. And I say that because they're standing up all the time, right? So when he builds his marketing pieces, he's going to speak the words and language that these people use in their everyday life. And he's not going to talk about things that are pop culture right now, because they're already 40 and they're not in tune with that, what's maybe happening right now with the kids. And then sports injuries. So he could allude to having the old football injury or whatever in his marketing. And, and he really wants those factory workers. So he would say things in his marketing that is going to resonate with these people. And how you can use ChatGPT, I'm getting it. How you can use ChatGPT and AI is you can say, you say, this is who I'm targeting, this is what I sell, this is my solution, these are the things that I know they worry about. They wake up in the middle of the night thinking, what if my feet cause me to lose my job? Because I can't stand up anymore and do my job. We'll lose my house, we'll be on the street, we won't be able to have food. This is the kind of stuff that really gets somebody who is 40 years old, has a sports injury, and he can't do his factory job because the speakers so bad. So what you do is you take this information and give it to ChatGPT and you say, what keeps this guy up at 3 a.m.? You just ask ChatGPT and it'll tell you. What is their spouse saying to them about this? An unsupportive spouse. Because the spouse might be like, oh, honey, you're okay. You'll be all right. But this is an unsupportive spouse. All right? So what is that spouse saying to them that makes them feel even worse? What are their unsupportive friends saying? What have they already tried? So you don't have to come up with all these. You just ask ChatGPT. And it'll just give you, especially this unsupportive spouse. Because if you can use those words in your marketing, that's really gonna make someone say, holy cow, she gets me. He gets me. Like, I really feel like this person can help me with my painful feet. And maybe I can keep my job and my family, right? So you can ask ChatGPT to help you delve deeper and deeper into your ideal client. So that's something that you may not have thought of.
I wanted to add something to the warnings.
Yeah.
Warnings, don't use it as legal or medical advice. I mean, I feel like we don't have to say that, but.
I have a question kind of about how to talk to ChatGPT. Because I think we speak two different types of English.
Yeah.
And I kind of really got super excited about it last year, and I was like, we're not communicating well together.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I have to work on something else right now. And I really want to get back into it because I really feel like about 1 million benefits in AI for me. But I just don't, because I've asked people in the past, they're like, oh, you'll find your voice. I'm like, I don't have time to find my voice because so I just need to know how to speak to it. So how do you kind of like recommend that or what are some resources to talk to it?
Do you mean that you're not getting out a result that sounds like something you would say? You're not getting the result that you want out of it?
I feel like when I speak to it, maybe I don't use enough language, or maybe I start to talk like maybe I'm speaking like myself when I'm speaking to it. But I think it's kind of like a combination of things because I don't get much data back, nor is it relevant. It's like it's not at all what I thought.
Yeah.
Like we're just not connecting in any way.
Yeah, so
Okay.
So for that, I would say, take language that you've written. So maybe that's your website or a blog you've actually written, and put it into ChatGPT. Just give it a bunch of examples of how you actually speak. Keep it in the same thread. Don't do a new thread every single time. Keep it in the same one, and it'll learn how you communicate. It'll learn how you talk. And then from there, you can get really specific with what you want. So, for example, I did this with my my bio. I, for some reason, could not figure out how to write my bio. So I was just like, write one for this. These are my credentials. This is what I've got, whatever. And so from there, I just kept putting in things that were about me and my business. And I now call it it's my business thread. And so anytime I'm like, hey, I can't think of like an action sentence to like promote myself, because it knows who I am, it knows everything about me, it has access to my website, it has all of that information, it can generate something that really relates. So what I do for my other clients is I actually have a ChatGPT thread for every single one of my clients where I put their information in. And that's again, website information. Apple Podcasts is now doing transcripts. So I actually got a full transcript from one of my clients and threw that in there. So again, her actual voice, speaking tones, things like that. So that way, because originally when it first came out, I was doing a new thread for everything. And I realized very quickly that I was getting those answers where it was like, this is just not it. Like, this is not, it's not good. Like, it's just not good. The second I switched the way that I was doing it and had a dedicated thread for each thing, then I was able to get an outline or get better structure to what I was looking for.
Oh, that's excellent. And then in the paid version of ChatGPT, we don't know about the other ones, there's a section where you can teach it, train it. So you put your website and all that stuff into a section, not in a thread. And then you tell it, write like me. And then I also wanted to build on what you were saying. Another way.
I also always thank it because when it takes over, I hope it,
Oh, right.
it's nice to
Oh,
see.
I
It's nice.
nice to me.
It'll be better. You're like,
Yes. Yep.
Let's
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm like, thank you. It does.
Yeah. And you can ask for maybe five of these things. And when you like one of them, you say, okay, this one, I copied the name of it. This one right here, let's dive deep into this one. Give me this. But recently, I felt like I was getting some sex because I always tell it, once I get something going and I want to use it on social, I say, give me 10 Facebook posts with emojis, 10 Instagram posts, 10 LinkedIn posts, and they should be greatly different from each other. I'm saying this to you, I can say this to ChatGPT because each of those platforms has a different personality and different phraseology really resonates on those different platforms. All three of them exactly the same 10 posts. And I said, these are identical. Please do this again. No, it doesn't matter. And it was like, please do this again. And this time, take into account the algorithms and the different personalities of each platform. And it turned out just fine. It did 3 different ones, but what are you doing? You getting lazy? What's going on? They were identical.
Another good one is like hashtag research.
Okay.
So hashtag research. Yes.
I struggle sometimes with blog titles and stuff like that. For me, like SEO is so important. I want to make sure that the information I'm providing is becoming available to my visitors because we're using the same keywords. And in the past, I've used Yoast, but I wonder if I could just turn to AI and said that it's myself. I really spent an entire day at a previous job looking for media keywords, putting them in the search bar, looking at the results, and then trying to piece them together, and then
So 100% use ChatGPT. And this is coming from, I do the keyword research as well, and it's identical. Like I said, I did it for my website, and I already had my SEO strategy down. I was just like, let me just double check that this is like actually, and I did it. And the first keyword that popped up was exactly what I selected from the Google search keyword thing. Can't think of the name.
So keyword search. Okay, good.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
And that's, and again, with that, with the blogging aspect of it as well, you can ask ChatGPT to write a blog that uses this specific keyword in its SEO and keeping in mind SEO practices. And on top of that, I've had it write out my meta descriptions. I've had it do my URLs. I've had it do my alt titles or alt texts. Like, yeah, it's great.
And once you, if you treat it like your team of people that you would hire, and again, you know, say thank you, great job, excellent, and
You
say,
get a raise.
let's explore this more, or this is going in the wrong direction. You can say that. You can say, no, we're way off base. We need to get back to this is the core of what I'm looking for right here. Let's try that again. And it'll try it again. So this has been a blast. We're not done. I mean, we still have until 4 o'clock. Also, before you leave, if you did enjoy the training and like the meeting, then she would love to get a testimonial from you before you leave. That would be great. And then we can tell more people about this. But we keep going with the Q&A.
Did you have a question?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm just busy.
No, I feel bad.
Oh, here's an idea too. So, you can ask for some strategic advice. And then we're going to this part right here. So, I know in my business, from all the stuff that I teach, that people don't understand the lead magnet concept and don't know how to build one. And then they don't even, then they go, I don't even know why I want one, right? So I said, all right, I want to do some training on that subject. So you can tell ChatGPT, and here's what I think is really smart, is to say, you are a whatever I am. So you tell ChatGPT or act as a automation expert, which you could say about me, email marketing strategist. Say that right there, whatever you are. So you're telling ChatGPT to act like you. Think like this person, you might say, with a master's degree in marketing, like say how you want them to think and act, okay? And then
And to go off of this,
Yeah.
if you do the thread idea, you can, I'll say in my personal thread, I'll say, act like you're Rachel and give me 10 social media
all the
posts.
stuff, you can just say act like you're Rachel.
Yeah, like talk like Rachel would.
And then I would say, all right, so, act like a marketing executive or an automation specialist, and build a course to teach. And then this is where I would put my ideal client, exactly who I want to come to this course. So I wouldn't just say business owner, I would say successful or profitable business owners with 3 to 5 years in whatever, in business, who are wanting to scale and grow. Like, tell it exactly who you want. If you want people who are brand new and either haven't started yet or are just starting, then say that. I will tell you though, from experience, they don't usually don't have enough money to pay for something, and then they don't often understand how important it is yet, because they haven't been through enough pain yet. So, that's why I changed mine to, the successful 3 to 5 year ones. They're already profitable and they've been through enough pain. They know they want this solution and they know they want to pay for it, right? So, build a course to teach these people how to do this thing, right? have build a lead magnet and then automate the follow-up emails to go with it, is what I would say. And then, you may want to tell GPT what you want in the course, or you could just say this much and then see what it gives you. It might say, okay, so first of all, we need a lead magnet, right? So track them. And then we've got first a 1 hour, 2 hour Zoom of Ask Me Anything. And then a 5-day challenge on Facebook, 5-day challenge. And it'll tell you all these things that you should do. And then that leads to the paid course. And the paid course has these modules in it, and underneath modules, it'll give you all of that in a nanosecond. Right? I'm like, this is weeks of work to get all those pieces and figure out first what you're gonna offer and then what's gonna be covered in each different area, and you get it in a nanosecond. And you don't have to use it, of course, the way it comes out, but you have something to start with, right?
Have you ever used it for like an advertising sales pitch?
Not personally, simply because that would be a stretch too far for me with ChatGPT. I would get an outline, maybe see a few practice ones, but I personally wouldn't send it, like, especially if it's an email. Like, but if it's a script, I've done multiple phone scripts with it. Because then I can do the inflection and I can change a word here or there.
Right.
But yeah, it's really good for scripts. But yeah, I personally wouldn't send written advertising or, yeah.
Yeah, I love it for video scripts. And I just recently, it's so funny because I've been using it for maybe a year. It really didn't hit the mainstream until very recently. And I didn't think of doing the video scripts until just last week or 2 weeks ago. And I said, hey, write me 30-second scripts, 5 of them. For now, and ChatGPT can put the video in and it reads the video. Other ones will. Cast Magic will. But you can say, give me, you don't have the video. You don't have the video. So this is my course. Okay, the course we just created. Give me 5 30-second scripts for videos to promote this. And it'll go, here's your script, here's your script, here's your script. And you can even tell it to suggest a background or a activity, that is sitting at your desk in your office or walking in a wooded area, during this video, and say these things. So great.
You're missing it, see.
Oh, scripts. So I'm hoping that you've got some ideas. I see some people making some notes, and hopefully there's something that you saw with the generative AI or with the AI sites and how you can talk to AI and get out what you want, little warnings that you can use in your business, hopefully, like maybe you're doing it right now. Finding some way to make your life easier, save time, save money, and save wear and tear on your noggin, right? I mean, you don't have to try to think of all these things. Any more questions? You're doing so good on time. You still have 25 minutes.
I was wondering if anybody wanted to share like something or like a prompt that they were going to do after this class or like.
I was thinking of the video part of it. I've learned a lot. And first of all, for the photography, I don't see how I would use that. I'm sure that the bands I take photos of would not appreciate me using AI, like with the extra hand or whatever. But the video part of it, okay, so I have a YouTube channel that has like various things. Most recently, my comedy acts, I think I would like nights. And the laptop that I have does not I don't have the capabilities of editing now. And it's this cast magic that just might allow me to put some content into it.
So Cast Magic won't edit the video.
Okay,
It'll take the video and give you AI generated prompts.
okay. I mean, I'm fine with that, but it's just, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with it not editing because I'm just gonna just not edit it, just,
There
Yeah.
are some programs out there that will take out like and
Right.
random pauses.
Oh, yeah, Descript.
Descript, yeah.
Descript,
That's a really
okay.
good one.
but going back to the cast magic, it can allow me to add in content. It's just like, right now the videos are just blah. And it's just like, maybe I'll add in something like, oh, this is when this happened or that happened or whatever. So, what was the name of the app again, or whatever it was?
So I use Cast Magic.
No. It was the other thing that you suggested to edit the video.
Descript,
Descript.
yeah.
Okay, thanks.
And tons of other things out there.
Okay.
And I would say do the trial, see if you like it.
Well, can I edit videos though? You can put a video in it and you can like tell it to do things.
Yeah, I've again not found Canva to be like the best.
No.
But it's definitely an option. And if
So
you
there's
guys have
another one that I've used a lot, it's called opus.pro, opus.pro. And it has a free version. And here's what, you take a long video, anywhere from, I could put this one in, or 5 or 6 minutes, that's quote long if you're thinking of reels and shorts. And it can be even a sideways video, and it'll cut it to the up and down, and it'll cut it into, you can tell it how long. At first you couldn't tell it how long, now you can tell it I want 15 seconds, 30, 60, 90-second clips. And it will find start and stop places in your video of when you start talking about something and you finish, and it'll cut them and it'll put the captions. And then now I have the paid version, so I'm not sure how much of this is in the free version, but I could change the color of the captions and the way they appear. And oh my gosh, what a time saver. You gotta, again, I've got this real long one, but even if you have a 20-minute video, you can break it up and you'll get 15 or more 30-second or 60-second videos out of it. And they're in the right format for reels, shorts, threads, and stories. So that is opus.pro. And all the ones we've told you about, they generally have a free version. And if you are serious at all about what you're doing, you'll probably outgrow that pretty quickly. But you can try the free version of several and then decide, oh, I like that one, so then I'll get the paid version of that one.
And I think the good point to note out as well is that in all sectors of our business, no matter which industry we're in, there's always an element of education behind it. And so when I say that, I mean, I know Laura, we talked extensively on like just the educating aspects of your business. And when you utilize tools like this, it not only gives you an accessible format with captions that are easy to read, but it always gives you something that you can promote education with. And so I do think that even if you're like, a comic, and you're like, I don't know what I do writing blogs, think of it as another way to be accessible to an audience that might not know you and might be searching like local Knoxville products. And your blog pops up and like it's super funny, and then they go to your show, so look at every opportunity with this as a lead magnet basically, and how you can generate leads. Educational posts, in my opinion, are one of the best ways to do that. It showcases your knowledge, shows that you're a thought leader, and then from there you can throw in, your call to action or your, whatever you want into the action that you want to do.
You can also use it, like I said, for topics, meaning I wouldn't, as a comedian, say, write this funny thing for me, because that can come back and bite you very hard. If someone finds out that you're, having the internet write jokes for you. However, saying, hey, give me 10 topics that are trending right now in the news that are funny. And then you pull your own material on that, at least gave you an idea of where to even start from. Because sometimes that's the hardest part is, what do you want to talk about? So using that, so you're not saying, okay, write this 30-minute set for me, and then next thing you know, they're saying, hey, she just pulled her material, copied it. Because that's obviously, for people who are in the artistic side of it, you're always walking that balance of what are you doing to help yourself versus you're just copying or using that because that's, so AI can be amazing when it's used to help in those things and further along, but it can't also be a replacement for everything.
Yeah, and another one for your comedy could be, and this is hard for me to think of, so I would try to find a way to get ChatGPT to tell me things that are diametrically opposed. For example, the only thing I can think of is a cigarette manufacturing plant that has a no smoking section, right? Things that are diametrically opposed, so then you can write comedy about it. But it'll just give you a list of those kind of things. And then you can say, you know, the other day I was at this place, make your own jokes about it.
I love how this has turned into like a comedy workshop.
I got my phone.
Because I was gonna say, you could use AI, because that's funny, because it makes mistakes and comes that. I've seen people do that where they'll use Google Translate and it's just horrific. It'll go from like Korean to English, and it's so bad, but it's so funny. And the way that they did songs, so it's song lyrics, and they are just so serious. It's about relationships, and they're like, when you leave, cry me, you know, it's like awful. It's so funny.
Oh my gosh.
All right, anybody else want a comedy workshop next month?
There we go.
Right, well, I have to go, so I'm gonna grab some.
Oh, yeah.
I'll do some testimonials.
Here, and I'll shut down the live. Bye, everybody. Hope you got some great value out of this. Thank you for being here.